Hey, welcome to the Original Brew Collective podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ben.
And I'm Robert.
And on these episodes, we review different beers from different breweries, and today is no different. So, Robert, tell us about the beer we're drinking today.
Yeah, today we are going to be drinking a beer from Bottle Logic. If you're not familiar with Bottle Logic is located in Anaheim, California, and they're very well known for their barrel-aged stouts. Today, we're not drinking a barrel-aged stout, but we are drinking a stout from them, an Imperial Stout called Study Break, coming in at 10% ABV. This one actually is brewed with lactose, cacao nibs, and peanuts, and so it's supposed to be reminiscent of a Snickers bar. Mm-hmm. We will be the judges of that.
Yeah.
The humble judges, because they're, like I said, they're very well known. They brew incredible beers, and so they know what they're doing. But we'll give our opinion on that. I'm gonna crack this one open. Ben, did you want to describe the can while I do that?
Yeah, for sure. So the can on this, and this is kind of cool because I've actually never drinking like beer from Bottle Logic in a can. It's usually in a bottle, so I'm excited about this. But the can art is really cool. I really like it. So it's 80s themed, and like the background of it, the whole thing is silver, and then it looks like kind of random pattern. They have Snickers bars, they have a pinball machine, an Atari, and then they have a textbook and peanuts, and it's just a really, really cool 80s themed can. I really, really like it. It's actually kind of one of my favorites. But yeah, I really like it. And then if you've listened to us before, you know that we have fun facts, and I just thought the fun fact that I found for today, this episode is really fun.
I have no idea what it is, so
It's probably not as
very, very excited about this.
It's probably not as exciting as I'm making it seem, but apparently I had no idea that this was a thing, but there's like a world championship for, it's essentially like wife carrying world championship contest. And what it is to see who can, and this is a beer fun fact, so I'll get there. Okay. But it's like seeing who can carry their wife through an obstacle course the fastest.
Okay.
And so whoever, which is just ridiculous. And I looked at pictures of it, and the wives are just like on their backs, and they're going through these obstacle courses.
like piggyback style?
Okay.
Or like
no. Like, so if you're not watching and you're just listening, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like the legs are like on top and the person's like back to back, like, and
so they're hanging upside down?
Yes.
So it's like someone gets on your shoulders. I don't know what they call that. It's not a piggyback, but
no, but on your shoulders. And
so someone sits on your shoulders and then they lean back.
Yeah, all the way.
Dangling, right?
Anyways, yeah, so whoever can get through this whatever obstacle course they have set up the fastest, and then the winner of it, the duo, gets the weight of the wife in beer. The prize.
Interesting.
So that's the beer fun fact. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah.
So you want to like plump up your wife a little bit, feed her pretty well right beforehand?
I guess so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we have the beer poured out into our glasses. Ben's drinking out of a Teku, and I am not, unfortunately. No. I forgot mine.
No, you got a snifter, though.
I got a snifter, which is actually proper glassware, so it works out. There's no disappointment here. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty healthy pour.
Yeah.
The head retention on this is solid.
It's incredible.
It's beautiful. It's taking a while to go down. Ben's, being a Teku, looks like it'll be a little harder, more difficult to get that first sip maybe right now. Mm-hmm. So, for the time being, let's see what we get on the nose. Actually, before we get to the aroma and everything like that, let's just kind of talk about the color. I mean, this is pretty dark.
Yeah. So, but on my head on it, there's pretty big bubbles on mine.
Yeah.
And then I would say it's like a mocha brown.
Yeah, I would actually say, so usually when you see the bigger bubbles, you're going to see the head retention die a bit faster. But looking at Ben specifically, because his bubbles he has some bigger ones than I have on his head. It's really dense still, and then there's like scattered big bubbles. So you have all the dense little ones and the big ones.
Yeah.
Mine, from my pour, is just dense little bubbles.
This looks great.
Yeah, but the head is like a nice, creamy, rich, like latte foam.
Yeah, and then latte.
Yeah,
that's it.
And the color is no light really going through that. It's pretty dark. I wouldn't go as far as to say. Oh, would you say black?
I would say like jet black.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty
for
black.
Sure.
Yeah, because there's nothing coming through that. Mm-hmm. It looks incredible. The head is finally starting to go down since our initial pour. Let's see what we get on the nose.
Yeah.
It smells like a freaking Snickers
It
bar.
does.
It's crazy.
I really get the like.
I get caramel and peanuts.
Yeah, the peanut and then the chocolate, the caramel. Oh my gosh.
So the sweetness, and I'm getting a caramel vibe from this. The sweetness I'm smelling must be from that lactose though as well. You know.
Mm. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I hope that the what we're getting on the palate is as good as what we're getting on the nose.
Mm-hmm. And did you say the ABV on it?
10%.
10%. Okay.
Yep.
Gosh, this smells.
It smells like Snickers bars, when you're eating one, you don't really smell it. So I'm trying to think of what
It
would
smells like the
smell
taste of a Snickers bar.
This smells like the taste of a Snickers bar. Mm-hmm. Really.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Which is cool because it's
better to
like
describe
that's
it.
what they're going for. It's spot on.
Yeah. Do you want to taste it?
Of course I do.
Let's taste it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The mouthfeel on this is incredible. It's very heavy. And both Ben and I love like a good heavy mouthfeel, especially on our Imperial Stouts.
I said it. I mean, it tastes like a Snickers bar.
I would say that it does, especially on first sip, very reminiscent of a Snickers bar, but a little more peanut flavor than anything else.
I was just gonna say that. I'm getting mostly peanut flavor.
But it's very good.
Yeah.
Like, this is very good.
For me, it's like the peanut and the cacao.
Yeah.
The chocolate taste.
Tons of peanut, which I'm loving right now.
I do. Yeah, me too.
Usually
Really
when we
good.
have a stout with peanuts or peanut butter and stuff, it's not usually this heavy on the peanut, and this one is, and I'm very happy about it. But you're also getting all those other flavors. Like it's sweet, you're getting the chocolate.
Gosh.
It's very reminiscent of a Snickers bar, but if they added more peanuts maybe, like salted peanuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
It's
Yeah,
very good.
The mouthfeel is great. There is slight carbonation on it, but like as Robert said, it's a heavy mouthfeel. It coats the mouth and it's very tasty.
You know, the aftertaste, because I'm thinking like I mentioned salted peanuts, the aftertaste is like a Snickers bar with almost like the aftertaste of Cracker Jacks.
Okay. Which
know?
is caramel.
Which is the caramel and the salted peanuts, right? This is a very good stout.
This is really good.
This is really good. I'm really glad we picked this one up.
Yeah. Gosh, everything about it is awesome.
I'm really excited for this one to open up a bit. I think the flavors are going to pop even more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, if you've joined us before, you're well aware that we do every episode, we review a new beer and then we discuss what we call brewery talk. So just a random topic that we've selected in advance. And today's brewery talk, I'm going to tweak it a little bit. It's going to be the same topic, but what we call it's going to be called Things We Take for Granted.
Okay.
I think that's a good title for the topic because right now we live in California. We live in the Sacramento area, or relatively close to. And right now, if you're not aware, we're going through this, I don't know if they call it fire season.
Yes.
Yeah, fire season. And so last year we had some really bad fires. Like, it's really sad, some devastating fires. We're not going to get into that. We try to keep our episodes pretty upbeat and positive. But because of what happened over the last year and actually increasing over the years.
In like the last couple of years.
Yeah, increasing over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
Our power supplier that covers a lot of, not all of California, but a lot of California is called PG&E, if you're not familiar. Pacific Gas and Electric is what it stands for. And they're shutting off specifically because of the increased fires, and especially with what happened last year in Paradise, California. It was devastating. Actually, Sierra Nevada, we talked about this on a previous episode. Sierra Nevada created a beer recipe that they distributed throughout the world. Resilience Ipa, and hundreds of breweries across the world brewed that recipe, and all the proceeds went to help the people of Paradise, California, which is super cool. So shout out to Sierra Nevada for that. But now, because of that and what's been going on the past 2 years, PG&E shuts off power. Really it's been a big issue this year. They started doing it. And so if there is going to be high winds... Which,
started in October.
Right, yeah. So if there's going to be high winds, that makes it a higher risk for fire. And so PG&E will shut off the power to certain areas. Right now, we are in Ben's home, and he lives up in northeastern Northern California, but like kind of up
Yeah.
in the hills.
Yeah.
And so it happens to be an area where they shut off the power.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to kind of, I mean, Ben has experienced power shutoffs already. And they kind
Mm-hmm.
of, they do announce them and tell you when they're going to, they try to predict when they're coming. But Ben, when was the last time you had your power shut off? It's pretty recent, right?
Yeah. I mean, and so far, each time with PG&E, like I have texts, I get texts from them and emails and calls.
Okay, that's good.
Telling you that the projected date that they're going to shut power off, and each time that they send it, it has happened.
Been true.
Yeah. So last time was this week.
What day?
We had power off.
I mean, how many days ago was that? 2 days?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
2 days? Okay,
2 days ago.
And it was the full day? Or just like majority?
So it was two days.
You had no power for 2 days?
Yeah. Well, I guess it was like a day and a half.
Okay.
So it wasn't like exactly 48 hours, but you know. But the first time they shut the power off, actually, we had this planned and like for months in advance, but it just so happened that the day that power got shut off, we went to Disneyland.
Like, that works out.
I know, it worked
Good
out.
job.
We were there for the time that they had the power shut off in our area, so that really worked out. But yeah, I mean, each time that they've said that they're going to, it's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like interesting because it's not something that I like think about. Like I live in more of a city area, and so that's not going to happen to us.
I live in like a mountainy area.
Yeah, and so like I said, PG&E supplies a lot of the electric to many of the individuals in California, not everyone, and so I don't have PG&E as our supplier, so that won't be an issue for us. But it's like I don't ever think like, what if I didn't have power? Like I come home, I turn on my lights, turn on my AC or whatnot. You know? And then my fridge, I have all my beer in my fridge, and it's gonna be cold. So you would have to prep to make everything in your fridge to make sure it's all gonna stay cold when you get that text.
Yeah.
And how far in advance do they usually give you those warnings?
It's usually like a day or two in advance, and then so the texts say like the day that they're projecting that the power is gonna shut off, and to like prepare a plan.
Do you have one right now? Like a date that they've predicted yet, or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in advance, you have to get a cooler. Or wait, do you have a generator?
So what we've done in the past is we've had a cooler because like you don't want your groceries to go bad, and it hasn't been like super cold. So yeah, you don't want your groceries to go bad. So we've had a cooler and gotten ice the day before, but then I actually had a friend who their grandparents had recently moved from the area.
Okay.
And like they were older, so they haven't like necessarily sold their house yet, and they had like a generator that was just sitting there. So we do have a generator now.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of that's the plan.
Yeah.
Is like when the power goes out, just to at least like be able to plug like your fridge in and
but
other stuff.
not everyone has a generator, so you're going to have to plan ahead when you get that text and buy a cooler. And I mean, I guess like hopefully it's a big cooler because you have to stock up on ice and everything. And hope for the best. I mean, there's not much more you can do. I'm sorry. If you're watching on YouTube, a cat's on the table.
This is my cat, and she is ridiculous. This is like the most ridiculous cat.
So we're going to leave her be. Let her hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want cat fur getting in my beer, so...
Okay,
What's her name?
This is Nox, Nox, and it's Harry Potter with their wands when they turn their when they have lights on and they turn their wands off, they say Nox.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the movies. I didn't ever pick up
but
on
this is
that.
like the most ridiculous cat because she like drools. And so she'll drool and she'll like shake her head and drool will hit you, and
she's a very passionate, intimate cat.
Very sensual.
Sensual is the right word. So like I've had her when you guys first got her actually. Like I was sitting on the couch and she came up and she was just rubbing her face into my beard. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then afterwards I was like, hey, this is kind of creepy. Especially when she started drooling.
She does it so slowly, but
yeah.
I'll try to keep her.
It's creepily intimate.
It is very intimate.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, things we take for granted. It's just not something that I ever consider is electricity.
Yeah.
My wife grew up in a very rural area of California called Grass Valley, California. But like, actually, no, not even Grass Valley. It was like, so Grass Valley, if you're from Northern California, you know Grass Valley's kind of in the cuts. Like out in nowhere.
Something kind of interesting. I was listening to this podcast, and do you know in the Avengers, Hawkeye?
Yeah.
In the vintage
Did you
beer.
say hot guy?
Hawkeye.
Sorry.
Not Hawkeye. Hawkeye. Like the bird. Jeremy Renner. Apparently he grew up in Grass Valley.
So hot guy. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. With that guy, with Jeremy.
Yeah.
Women love that guy, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just assume. I don't know.
But he grew up in Grass Valley. I thought that was interesting.
Really? Interesting. The cat's back on the table, doing her thing. It's a she, right? No,
Yes.
Okay. Doing her thing.
I always call her a guy.
Yeah. Let's turn her around so the camera can get a good look. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. You're chill. Anyways. So anyways, my wife grew up in this area close to Grass Valley. Some would consider it Grass Valley, but it was even deeper in a more rural area. And she was telling my mother-in-law, so her mother was telling me actually that their power went off for like 4 days and it was unplanned. And they weren't even able to flush their toilets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so all their food went bad. And they were, like, except for anything that they happened to have that was canned.
Yeah.
And so they ended up having a little camping cooking stove, and they had to pull that out for
Yeah.
a few days. They had to live off that
Mm-hmm.
and cook canned food in pots and stuff like that in their home.
Yeah.
And they couldn't flush the toilets. And
Yeah.
that's really disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, I would just go and be like, all right, you got to dig a hole every time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go.
For sure.
A certain number.
Yeah. We're lucky because like that would be you have a well.
Okay.
And those don't run on power.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait. Yeah. No, those do. Those run on electricity. So when the power goes out, those won't work. But I'm in a house where we can still like flush toilets and use water, but our water doesn't get heated, so we can't really take hot showers because our hot water heater doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I mean that's something you take for granted.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? And like food, and then I remember one of the power outages. My daughter, who's almost 2, she had like a fever in one of them, and like it didn't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it didn't like really affect anything, but it just kind of sucked because it's like it's uncomfortable, you know, when you don't have power, and then like your daughter or my daughter had like a fever, and it's just like, oh man, like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just different, you know, and it doesn't feel as like safe as usual. Usual, you know, it's not the norm.
Yeah.
And so that's something you take for granted too, is like when family gets sick and so.
Dang. Yeah, I didn't know
There's
that.
a lot.
There's a lot that you
I mean,
just
your
take for
fridge
granted.
going out, and it's crazy. Because we had to one of the days we used our camping, which is nice that we have camping gear, and we had like a butane fire stovetop where we could like cook beans and stuff. And
you can't charge your phone. And I know,
can't
like,
charge your phone.
You're not like super big on like using your phone. Ben tries not to use his phone all the time. He's trying to break I guess I would call the addiction to like Instagram,
for sure.
social media channels. But
Definitely
like for those people who are super into that, like we're pretty active on our Instagram account.
Yeah.
You know, Original Brew Collective has an Instagram. Give us a follow. at Original Brew Collective. But I have my own personal. Ben has his own personal. So at Robert_OBC and at Benjamin at Benjamin_OBC.
Who's at Ben_OBC?
I don't know. That's that bastard. But yeah, like so we're pretty active. But yeah, that like is something that would affect. Like you can't charge your phone, so you got to conserve your battery. So I wouldn't be posting. I wouldn't be on my Instagram account. Or anything, or
plus
Facebook
like
or whatever.
we don't have unlimited data either. So when the power goes out, the Wi-Fi goes out.
Oh yeah.
And so you can't like just.
You'd be spending. That's going to cost you more money if you go over on your data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, these are all just things that you don't really think about, and that we do take for granted. I think.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. And
crazy.
And specifically, a lot of the examples we're talking about stem from just electricity in general.
Yeah.
Which is pretty nuts.
It is.
Your power goes out, you lose a lot of
It's
food.
like you realize
your beer goes warm, which is maybe the worst thing.
Yeah.
You can't charge your phone.
Even just to think of this, I know that there's a lot of grocery stores that have like generators so that they're like consistently going, but there was one year where I heard that a grocery store they didn't have that, and they lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars in product because of like the stuff that's frozen, the stuff that's in like refrigerated, and it's just crazy.
There was actually, it wasn't even that long ago. In the last probably about 5 years ago, we have, I don't know how widespread Trader Joe's is, but we have this grocery store in California.
I know it's in Washington too.
It's pretty popular.
I think it's pretty popular.
Called Trader Joe's. Cat's biting me. It's called Trader Joe's, and we have one, and in our area actually that they lost power at one point in their freezer section, and so they were just giving out their frozen food, or else it was going to go bad. They were going to lose it. And so my parents actually happened to be there when it happened, and so they just stocked up on tons of frozen food just because they're giving it away.
I forget what store it was where I think it was around the area that I live in, and they literally they threw all their frozen food like in the parking lot.
Jeez,
for people to get.
That's weird. I think they go bad faster.
I know.
Like that in the sun. Or
yeah.
Something. Actually, Russian River. I'm glad you brought up businesses and stuff, because Russian River actually, they have multiple locations. I believe one of the locations lost power. The other also, I think they had 2 locations, both lost power if I'm correct. But one of them had to rent a massive generator. It's the size, I saw photos of it. It's the size of a semi truck.
Whoa.
To power their brewery.
Oh yeah.
And granted, it is actually, they did say it was overkill, but it was because of the PG&E announcing they were going to start shutting off power in the very near future.
So this was recent then?
Yeah, it's in the last week.
Yeah.
A lot of people and businesses started renting out the generators, and so this was the only one available in their area. And so it was massive, it was overkill, but they rented it. And so they were able to stay open because of it.
Dang. So I know someone that, it's actually her parents are the owners of Heretic Brewing.
Yeah.
And when the power went out, they lost all the beers that they were brewing.
Yeah.
And just so
you got to keep them a certain temperature.
Yeah, and so just local businesses, it just really takes a hit. Mm-hmm. And it's just really sad. I mean, I was even Taco Bell was closed.
No,
I know, but the power wasn't even out. But just because it was projected to be out, they just closed down
just in case.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, Taco Bell's probably not struggling for money.
Yeah, I'm sure Taco Bell's
but just small businesses, and it's just it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
they're just kind of controlling.
Things we take for granted.
Yeah, but it's just kind of they're controlling. It controls everything, electricity and power. It controls everything, and when that's taken away, it really just throws a wrench into everything.
So, that was our brewery talk. I honestly, normally we try to make transitions. I don't know how to make a transition.
No, I mean,
it is.
Let's not take for granted
this beer. Thanks, Ben. Segue.
Yeah. I've been drinking this while we've been talking, just sipping on it, and this is. I'm gonna just say it. This is one of my favorite stouts. I think.
Really?
Yeah. But not barrel.
We had some really so not barrel aged. Okay.
Yeah, because there are barrel aged stouts, but not barrel aged stouts. This is really, really good, and I really like pastry stouts, and I really like sweeter stouts, and this is just really spot on.
The first pastry method was barrel aged, though. That was
oh wow.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite
stouts
that I've had.
I didn't say my all-time favorite. I said one of my favorites.
I heard you.
Yeah.
And I agree, this is a very good stout. If you can get your hands on this one, this is really good. Actually, I didn't tell Ben. I picked up a second can of this, which I'm very excited about.
That's cool.
I didn't bring it, sorry.
That's okay.
But I'm very excited. Yeah, it was actually a 2-can per person limit, so of course I had to
Where'd you get this from?
OTP.
Really?
So in our area, California, we have this incredible pizza company called Old Town Pizza. Incredible. And so
they carry Bottle Logic?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to get too into the weeds here. So really fast, Old Town Pizza is an incredible pizza company, super good. Some of the best pizza.
Really good pizza.
Some of the best pizza. The best pizza probably.
Yeah, here in Northern California.
My favorite pizza that you can get in our area. And so they have a location in Auburn, California, Roseville, California, which is their newest, and then Lincoln, California.
So
and one of the owners, his name is Russ. He actually is the co-owner, soon to be opening, Slice Beer Co. The other co-owner is the former original head brewer of Moonraker, Zach. And so they're opening
They're the co-owners of Old Town Pizza?
No, so Zach isn't. So Zach, the head old ex and now ex head brewer of Moonraker, he was he came up with a recipe for Yojo, Dojo, all of Moonraker's groundbreaking beers.
So good.
Yeah, so good.
A lot of
He is the artist behind that. And so he departed from Moonraker, wanted to pursue owning a brewery. So he's the co-owner of Slice Beer Co., which will be in Lincoln, California. It's not open quite yet. We've actually already reviewed a beer that they've had a hand in making. It was a collaboration with Aero Lodge Brewing. called, what was that one? Pitching Tents. Yeah. A very good stout, by the way. So we have one of the pizza locations, Old Town Pizza, in Roseville, actually, they have a bottle and can fridge, and they have a crazy good tap list.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Russ, I believe he's the owner of that location, at least the co-owner. He knows what he's doing when it comes to selecting beer. This cat loves me.
Oh.
So he knows what he's doing. The cat was doing that whole
nuzzling
into my beard thing.
Cool.
And so they had a 2 can per limit. Actually, when I was there, I ran into Russ and was talking to him.
That's fun.
He remembered me, and so we were talking for a little bit. And they said they do have an opening date, but he wouldn't tell me. He said he knows that I told him they're going to be slammed, and he knew it, and that's why they're not announcing quite yet. They're going to kind of announce it with a little bit of a short notice, so they're not overly slammed. They are considering doing some memberships, brewery memberships. And he said they're not sure what that will consist of. It's going to be in the new year. So in a couple months, probably, they'll announce that they're going to start doing memberships, hopefully. It's in talks. It's not guaranteed. And whether that be like early can releases or you get a growler and you get growler fills each month or whatever it be. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about that. They're also planning on doing a private event, ticketed event, to the public, which will be really cool. This is a really long tangent about
where you got this
about how I got this beer.
And all I was going to say is that if you ever come up to like the Sacramento area, if you go to Auburn, because that's where an Old Town Pizza is, you can go to Old Town Pizza in Auburn, and that one is really cool. There's it's just in such a cool area of Auburn.
Is that the first location, or is
that's first. Oh, I don't know.
It might be Lincoln.
I'm not sure, but the one in Auburn is really cool. And then there's Moonraker in Auburn, so you can go to Moonraker.
You get a good slice of pizza.
Dude, we should review a Moonraker beer.
I think we will, maybe next episode.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done that yet. It's such a great
Which
brewery.
is weird because they're one of our favorite breweries in this area.
But anyways, it's just, that'd be a cool, just a cool area to visit, so.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
In Northern California. Cool. So we are going to finish sipping on this beer. Any flavors popping out to you more so now, or as it's opened up, or is it kind of...
Oh, let me take that.
Is it kind of staying the same for you? I'm still getting a ton of peanut.
Yeah. I was actually going to say I'm getting a little bit... I'm still getting a lot of peanut, but I'm getting less as I'm drinking it, and it's more... I'm getting that caramel and cacao more. But
I'm getting a lot of chocolate, a lot of cacao.
I guess it's more even. So maybe I'm getting the same amount of peanut, but the other flavors are...
The cacao and caramel
are just
the sweetness
as
is popping a little bit more.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I'm still getting a ton of peanut, but definitely I agree with you. I'm getting a whole lot of cacao now. And that sweetness, the caramel sweetness.
I feel like the aftertaste is a little bit salty as well.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was reminiscent for me. It's like Snickers mixed with a little bit of Cracker Jacks, and it's like the caramel with the salted peanuts, sweet salted peanuts.
Gosh,
this is really good.
It's so good.
This is a really good beer. If you can get your hands on it, get it. Once again, this is Study Break from Bottle Logic, coming in at 10% ABV and Imperial Stout. Very good. We're going to close this one out. Thank you so much for joining us. Give us a follow if you'd be so kind at Original Brew Collective on Instagram and Facebook. On Twitter, we're also on Twitter. Yes, Twitter, that ancient platform. We're at Brew Original. And then we mentioned earlier in the episode, you can go give me a follow if you want at Robert_OBC, and then you can give Ben a follow, the handsome one, at Benjamin_OBC. We close each episode out now with a cheers. Ben, who are we cheersing to this episode?
Well, this episode is being released on 11/11.
And that means it's going out to 11.
11.
From Stranger Things.
So,
cheers to you, 11.
Cheers to you.
Kill that Demogorgon.
Cheers.